All right, we are here. Oh, the stand's falling apart. We are here on the end of our first round of the pre-polish stage. I actually ran it for one more day than I set the timer for, so it's been running for 5 days on the pre-polish. I was going to check it at 4, but I figured, well, it's already the finer stuff anyway, so it's not like the bigger grit that we'd need to go through. But wow, look at that. Man, that is just some foamed up. John was saying it looked like foamy concrete. So we're it's been doing something in there apparently. Dump out and see what. You know, I can't touch anything because I got crap on my fingers. All right, we will be blasting these out in the hose out in the yard, but go ahead and get an initial little rinse on them here and see how we look. I'm thinking I'm going to, since if y'all remember, that pre-polish that we put in here was pretty there's a little one that got away from us there, a little Dalmatian. Well, it's lost in the damn murk again. It was pretty coarse looking, so I was thinking I might go ahead and run another polish run on the pre-polish with the finer stuff that I got. That's not the what's the thing called, National Geographic. But yeah, I mean, they're looking pretty good there. So like I said, but we are going for that ultimate glassy finish on these when we're done. So I'm not going to do a burnish stage in between changing the polishes. We're just going to rinse these down really good. You can see that stuff, that amethyst is dissolving away. Where's that bigger amethyst that I put in here? Is it? Yeah, that ocean picture cube there is coming along nicely, but it grinds stuff down to nothing. All those little Dalmatian stones are showing up, are getting smaller and smaller, thinner. But there's our quartz, there's our amethyst in quartz that we put in here that came with the stuff. But then if you remember, I put that pretty dark purple. That may be it right there. I guess that is it. All right, I just didn't recognize it. With the blues are wearing down really thin too. They were a little chunky, but they're looking really good. So, all right, well, let's go here. Get a clean hand. Well, all right, we've got everything rinsed off good. You can see there's our 7 ocean picture stones up there at the top, and the assorted rocks that are around it that we're working on. So they're coming along. So I'm going to clean everything up, make sure it's all has no grit anything on it, and we'll start the next stage. All right, we've got everything washed thoroughly. The tumbler washed thoroughly. Our rocks washed thoroughly. I did not take off the rubber between the metal and the lid this time, and I'm still you can see I'm still got a wound there from the cut I got last week whenever it nicked me taking that thing off. It bled literally for an hour. I don't know why. I'm not a free bleeder, but it was yeah. So Jam and Jeff told me I wasn't putting enough water in here, so we'll add more water to that. And then we've got a look at You can see these are, I picked it up, it was dry. These have been dried, toweled off. They may still be like that when you can see the wet spot on it, but they're, you can see they're not, that pre-polish does nothing as far as getting that glassy, that wet look on them. So we're still into the pop, but they are, our ocean picture stones are looking pretty cool. That's the one, if you recall, with the, I think that's the one that had the nick in it. Or no, that's another piece. No, that's this one that had that nick in it. I was wondering if it was going to wear it all the rest of the way through or not. But really, I mean, it's got a pretty look to it already. So I just really like that stuff. But yeah, I had comments saying that Dan should have made up a better bag of that stuff, for especially those of us that have watched him do it and see what he takes off of those rocks that he's taking. You know, he's got some beautiful pieces, but you know, he's not going to give you the good stuff. He's going to want you to fork over $150 or $250 for a big slab. And so yeah, it was kind of cheesy as far as putting in half of them being just really drab compared to what they really look like. You know, I mean, what the potential of those things are. And you know, he's got to have tons of chips because you see him shatter that stuff everywhere. I'd rather have half the number of pieces and have them be better looking than. So we're gonna have, like I said, I've seen this before where it said add. I think they reduced the amount of polishing dust that they put in on these in the full amount, but I couldn't find it again, so we're just going to go with the same thing, 2 tablespoons per pound. And we used a little less of that other polish on there because we only had the 1 tablespoon, if y'all recall, and I didn't want to risk combining the two, because this is a much, you know, like I said, that's talcum powder compared to that other that had a grit feel to it. So definitely not the same day. So this time we're going to add a little more water over our stuff. So now I think that's better. And like I said, you just got to make sure that there's no grit or anything on any of this stuff left that's going to contaminate, especially anything that's, because it'll scratch it, basically scuff up your polished stones as you're trying to polish them. So there, we're sealed up down there, nice. You heard that snap. That's always a good sound when you're when you're trying to seal something up. When you hear that click, that snap, and then you want to make sure that you, like I said, you keep the ring equal around the top. You want to make sure it's even so that it's going to stay. It's not going to want to pitch when it's on those rollers on your tumbler. So yeah, after running for 5 days, when I took this off, I felt of the tumbler, felt the housing on it, and I mean, it was warm because it's been running for nonstop, but it was not hot at all. And but I did notice it has a little 5 vent opening at the bottom underneath it as well on the end, and I'm afraid that my padding that I've got it on might not be allowing it to get enough good air to keep it from eventually overheating or wearing it a little more than it should. So I'm going to take it off the pads there and leave it where it can that vent can have full access to breathing, to sucking in, intaking air. So, all right, well, this is ready to go back on the machine. But before we go off of this one, we have a special edition on this segment, because I got something in today very cool, and this is just one piece that came in the box. But this is from Tomcat Prospecting. I'm about to lose my battery again here. Let's get this done. Out in California, Tommy Rogers, he won one of my last giveaways there. And, he wanted to pack me something up. And this is, like I said, this is just one piece that he sent me. But how cool is that? I washed it off with the hose just to wet it down. But look at that crystallization from those dark red crystals. I don't know what, I just saw that he had sent me a text on it. I was gonna, before I was gonna start this, I saw that I had a Gmail, and he's talking about what some of this stuff is. But we're gonna be doing a proper mail call on it because it's a box full of some cool stuff. I mean, this is one of the coolest pieces too. But it is, there's others just just as cool or cooler of this kind of stuff. So I don't have anything like this at all. And like I said, that is just so very, very generous and kind of him to send this. Oh, actually, it's kind of, you can see a piece that just kind of wedged out of it. So we might be able to chip some of those crystals out of it and see, the kind of the constituent parts of some of this. Like I said, where those clusters are coming out right there, I bet you those would be some pretty cool shards coming out. So all right, well, like I said, we're going to be doing a full, a real mail call with this on it. But I just wanted to show that while we were doing a rock tumbling, that's like I said, it was so generous of him to do that, and I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'll think of some way to thank him. But is that not some cool looking shit right there? I mean, I like that. And we're out here it's getting close to sunset. I mean, we're in sunset. It's getting close to dark, and it's still showing up really nice. So, all right, well, very cool. Tomcat, thank you so much. Check out his channel. He's going to be doing the John R. Prospecting Pay Dirt Bag here pretty soon, and he's got a couple of videos that he's got out on his new sluice. Check out his cool neon glowing sluice. I'm not really a sluice guy, but that made me kind of want to have something like that with the it's pretty wild. So, but all right, well, again, thank you, my friend, so much. Let's get this on the tumbler and wrap this one up. All right, we are ready to go back to work here. Get our unit on there. Like I said, I moved it was these padded envelopes, and they and like I said, they were kind of restricting it has vents. You can see it's got the little vents on the bottom as well as on the end. And like I said, and there's no legs on it except for these very, very kind of little flat rubber stubs on it. So it was sitting flat on those. At least these give it that little bit of airspace to suck some intake in from underneath. And I was afraid that was, but like I said, it was not hot at all to have been running for 5 days straight. So I was very happy with that. And this Angel, get down from there. What are you doing? Jeez. She's so crazy. She jumped off the blind. That's 9 feet up there. My ceiling's 10 feet. Now she's up there. Now how are you going to get down, huh? How are you going to get down? Jeez. But yeah, she got up, jumped onto the edge there, and then jumped up to there from there. You can see there where she plowed out through the air conditioner the other night when she was in here and punched her way out and got outside. So now I'm hoping she's not fucking pregnant, because of all the fixed cats that are out there running around, I know there's one black one out there that I have not seen the trimmed ear, and she has not been fixed yet. And she's been going into heat and just making all. That's why she was in here, because she was just squalling through the house, and I was like, enough. It's 3 a.m, so I stuck her in here just to shut her up, and she busts out through the damn air conditioning. Those window units, those are just plastic, but she didn't knock it out. She pushed through the middle of it and tore it. So, and she's just a little punk, so we'll see how she gets down from there tonight. But all right, now, so much for the cat drama again. So we are set. We're going to set for 5 more days on this. And then once this ends, we'll do the burnish and then add the polishing stage and run it for at least 5 days to 7 days before we check it. It goes up to 7 days, so we try it for the whole week on the final polish stage. So let's kick it on and see how we, if we're level. My house kind of leans to one side. It's one of those raised houses, so the floors are not necessarily the most level things. That's why I have a bunch of super balls on one side of the house that the cats play with that all roll to one side where the piers and beams have kind of angled. So there, that looks like that's keeping it. So you can see there where that one's kind of kind of gimped over, where it's not see there, it's kind of at an angle, so it's pushing pressure on that. We want it off of that. Actually, I had that thing raised up pretty high, but yeah, this the floors in this house are rather uneven. I don't know why it's running off of that one so bad though. Sitting on those pads, it seemed to run pretty even, but alright, well, that wasn't a compelling video there, wasn't it? Alright, well, I think, like I said, I'm still not happy with the way that thing is kinking over on this one right here. I want it to pitch back that way, and it keeps creeping back on us this way. Alright, there, I think that's... No, you can see it's creeping back over, and now it's starting to push on that, push that one out again. So, all right, well, I'm gonna have to finagle with this and make sure I get it level to run. But it's got a little bit more of a rumble to it without that padding underneath it. But again, it's no louder than the air conditioning unit here. Oh, it's not plugged in. Oh yeah, it is. I can't hear it either. So yeah, that's both of them running. It's not too bad. Well, all right, we are back with the end of our pre-polish stage. Second round. I'd set this for 5 days, and the work I've been doing, I had not had time to deal with it, so I ran it one more extra day, and then it's been sitting here. I just got home today, so it's been here just sitting in the thing. So, but I wanted to say, whenever I came back in about 2 days into this, last time, if you recall, I had it without the padding under it and just had it shimmed, and it had vibrated all the way around to where it was just about like that. So yeah, if I'd have given it another, actually it was kind of like that. One edge was already hanging over. If I'd have given it another day or so, it probably would have ended up on the floor. So I returned the padding to it and leveled it up. So yeah. Be aware of that. This thing will creep away on it. Didn't look like it was going to, but it did. And you can see the top is empty up there. I had to climb up and get the little monster down. Yeah, okay, she's gone. So let's get this open and see how we look. If you recall, we had the grittier pre-polish. Man, that's on there tight. Hold on. We had the grittier pre-polish stage, and then I don't want to mess up the seal. Why is this so hard to get off this time? And then this last one, we used the fine polish powder, and you can see it's not nearly. I don't know if that's from maybe just sitting overnight or a few hours today. As I said, I just got home, and I just hadn't had time to get home from work to change it out yesterday, so I ran it an extra day, or the day before, so I ran it the extra day. So let's see what we look like here. We put in a couple of good tablespoons full of polish on this, of that fine polish. Let's move our stuff here so it doesn't get wet. Just splashing water around. So that's yeah, I can feel the difference on them for sure. And it looks like it ground them down a little bit smaller even off of that. Like I said, it ran for 5 days straight plus an extra. But yeah, so all right, well, let's get them washed up here. All right, hit it with the water real good. Damn it, my stand's not staying in place. All right, hold on. Well, all right, as you can see, we're looking pretty good on these. Of course, they're wet, so we're not going to get any real tell on how the polishing came on them, other than they do feel smoother. And where's our piece with the nick out of it? How's it holding up? It's where is it now? I can't find them zoomed in too much. There we go. You can see it's coming along pretty nice. Very, look at that ocean picture stone. Which way you go, with land or sea, or yeah, I guess like that. But yeah, this one's actually looking really good too. I like the look of that one. So yeah, if these actually polish out and keep that gloss on them. So I guess I think there's that big amethyst that I put in. So all right, well, I'm gonna get these sorted out. Even our little Dalmatian stones there are holding up, looking very cool. I really like those. I thought that was gonna maybe wear that crack there in the middle, because I know a lot of people discount them if they've got a crack like that, but I like that. I'm not sure if that's a crack now or if that's actually color in the veining or something. So like I said, but you can see a lot more detail on that. You can see the kind of the spider pattern in the crystal now as it's polished it down to that. We weren't seeing that before. So that's really cool. So all right, it kind of makes me wonder what some of that moonstone would do polished. But they're just such small pieces to start with. But even our black rock there, black jasper, is looking good. And that green piece where it had that divot in it is still got that little rough dent in it right there. But you can feel the dent, but it's smooth. So I don't know. But I'm happy with it so far. There's there's our little, I was wondering where it was. There's our little turquoise. We'll see if it polishes away with the next super fine stuff. So all right. Well, we are all washed up and ready to go for our next stage. So I've got my bar of soap here. So we'll go ahead, and I'm just showing you what I do, what I put in. This is a partially used bar whenever I started with it, so I've been shaving it down. But this is actually, my hands are wet and it makes it kind of hard to slim on this. So, but yeah, this is I'm just going to use all of this in here, and it's not the same as those videos I was watching where they were cutting soap, and it was so relaxing watching them slice up dried soap into all these millions of little cubes. Shit's a pain in the ass. So there we go. But that's it. This will clean any of that fine grit off. And after I'd blasted out the tub here, I looked. I could still see a fine layer of discolored of that fine grit that was stuck to the bottom of the rubber there. And that's, like I said, as I understand from the videos I've watched on it, that's the main flaw that gets tumblers, is having remnants of the previous grit still in there and on your rocks, or in your, contaminating your tumblers. So that's why I've taken the extra step on every one of these to go ahead. Usually you just burnish at the end to get the sheen for the final, after the final polish. But like I said, I saw one where the people were doing it all the way through, because for that reason. They said that was, and sure enough, as they were, especially in the first couple of the heavier grits, there was a considerable, their rocks were a bit more porous, I think, than mine are, maybe too, but still it held a lot more grit for as thoroughly as they had showed them washing them off and doing all that. So basically the message is you can't be overly clean with this stuff. You want to take that extra step and make sure there's no possible, and it may not be as quite as critical at this stage, since it was that last, like I said, that last grit was like a talcum powder. So it's not like you're going to have, but then compared to this next grit, which should be like micron size particles, you never know. That may be the difference between getting that glassy finish and having it where it has a bit of a haze still to it, which is the way a lot of them come out. So again, you want to make sure that that's seated down evenly all the way around there so it'll ride good on the tumbler. And finished off that bar of soap. We will return this to we still have our rock sitting out here. It's actually it's kind of weathering out here on the gold station. I set it out here to dry, keeps raining on it, but you can see this gold station's had I had the color of paint. It said Regal Blue gloss in the empty can in my shed here, and so I figured the only reason I had an empty can of paint was so I'd know what color to touch this up with. But I'm pretty sure it hasn't faded that much from that. I think this was one of the first colors that I painted it the dark blue before this lighter. So I don't know what, but it's having a hard time. This winter was tough on it. It's peeled off a big chunk there, and this is treated plywood, and I did, a double thick coat of oil-based Kills on it, primer, and then a full can of acrylic, gloss, primer, paint combined on it. And it's still, that was in like October when I was doing the remodel on the house next to me here after the storm, and it just doesn't last. Sitting out here like this, it's too hard on it. Even keeping it dry as much as I try and keeping it cleaned and all that. So yeah, it's going to have time for another redo. But, all right, let's get this in the house and get it going on the 24-hour. All right, we are back on the tumbler. We're going to go for 1 day with the soap in it. And it's already set. Let's hit it. See if it's going to creep over or if it's going to stay in position. Looks like it's starting to creep a bit. And there it is. So, yeah, we got to... Angel, get down from there. No, I'm not picking you off the top again. Get down. Get. So, yeah, you got to make sure it's set every time. All right, now we're backing off. Is it too much? Now is it going to be on the other side? So yeah, see, it's just a balancing act when you got it up on this pad or your house sitting level, whatever. It's not too bad. It's making contact, so I'm gonna juke it a little bit here, but all right. Well, we'll be back in 24 hours to put in the final polish for another 7-day run. So, all right, we are at the end of our 24-hour burnish stage. The soap has been doing its job, hopefully overnight. And as you can see, it's nice and creamy in there. So, there should be no particles left in here because we rinsed it off really good. So let's get it poured out. And there you have it. So there's still, actually it looks like we got some soap. No, it's just still, yeah, the whole soap didn't even dissolve down. I had the power go out last night, and it ended up, I forgot to turn this back on, so it actually probably only ran for about 10 hours altogether. So, but that's enough to get this cleaned out. So we're going to get these rinsed down and ready for start the last stage, which will be our super fine polishing. So let me get this scrubbed up and we'll be back. All right, we are back with the cleaned up stones, washed out, ready to go with our last, the polished stage. This is the super fine. We're not even messing with looking at the stuff that came with it. We're just going with this on this batch here. So we'll put in a couple of tablespoons of this. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's a little more than we need or not, but better more than less, I think. So that's it. We will make sure we are wiped down around our edges, always very good. We're going to top it off so that our water is just a little over the top. Jammin' Jeff, you see there? Am I good, brother? All right. So we'll wipe that seam down good. Cedar. Oh. All right, we're seated down in there good. And we will seal it back up and get it on the machine, and this will be running for the first full 7 days of polishing, and then we'll take a look at it and see if it's how we're doing, if we have to run another week or more on it. We are tightened down good. So all right, we'll see you at the tumbler. So all right, we are back at La Machine. We should still be in position and balanced. We will set our time for 7 days. And away we go. We'll give it a look here for a minute and see if we need to. We're pushing that little grommet on the side a bit. So, oh, hitting the machine, hitting the stand. And that's probably Angel. Get out from there! Don't you do it. She's wanting to jump back up on the high ceiling, high shelf. So that's pretty close there. All right, I think we're good. So 7 days for our final round of polishing here, and we'll see how we've done. And wish us luck. Thank you for watching.